Have you ever wondered why some mornings feel chaotic from the very first second? You open your eyes, and it begins. Thoughts racing, notifications flashing, a quiet inner voice already drowned out by noise. What if the first few minutes of your day decide everything that follows, from your mindset to your mood and even your success? It all begins right there, in those quiet or noisy moments when you first wake up. And most importantly, what if I told you you have the power to control it all, right from the start? Welcome to the first step towards mastering your mind each morning through timeless Stoic wisdom. Take back your morning. The Stoic way. Have you ever noticed how quickly your mind can spiral the moment you open your eyes? The alarm rings. You hit snooze. Just 5 more minutes. But somehow it turns into 30. Still groggy, you instinctively grab your phone. Social media, emails, endless notifications flood your brain before you even get out of bed. Suddenly, you're running late. You jump up, rushing aimlessly, feeling already drained. Not physically, but mentally, your mind feels scattered, being pulled in every direction, except towards yourself. This is what happens when inner discipline is missing. In Stoic philosophy, inner discipline is not about becoming rigid or emotionless. It's about something much deeper. It's the art of taking charge of your thoughts, mastering your emotions, and not letting fleeting impulses dictate your day. Imagine this. A Stoic is like a warrior. The mind is their battlefield, and every morning, the toughest opponent they face is themselves. When you start the day grounded, undistracted, and calm, something powerful happens. Yes, your productivity naturally improves, but more importantly, you begin to experience something rare, true inner peace. In this video, I'll guide you through 11 practical Stoic lessons to help you train your mind, starting right from the moment you wake up. These aren't vague ideas, these are clear, real-world habits, easy to apply and powerful in effect. As you follow each lesson, you'll feel your day and your life quietly begin to shift. Lesson 1. Begin. Quietly, morning is sacred. It's not just the start of a new day. It's a delicate bridge. When your subconscious and conscious mind are still intertwined, emotions are tender, thoughts rush in fast and wild. If you're not careful, you'll get swept away into the chaos before you even know it. That's why stillness matters. Just 3 to 5 minutes each morning. No phone, no talking, no scrolling. Simply sitting quietly with yourself. Breathing, being, science backs this up. This small act helps regulate your breath, shifts your body into recovery mode, lowers stress hormones, and brings calmness to your mind. You're no longer a puppet to external demands. You become present. Take Adam, a tech CEO, for example. Before emails, before meetings, he sits silently for 5 minutes. No apps, no background music. It's not meditation. It's simply reminding himself, I'm alive, I'm in charge of this day. That's mental training. That's Stoicism in action. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Morning stillness isn't about being slow or passive. It's your mental preparation, or your way of saying, I will begin this day with clarity, not chaos. Lesson 2. Identify the virtue of the day. When you wake up, the world outside hasn't changed, but you have a choice. You can decide how to live this day. According to the Stoics, only virtue is truly ours. Money, fame, and success can be taken away, but virtue stays with us. It guides us. So every morning, ask yourself this simple yet profound question. What is my virtue today? It could be patience, honesty, courage, or self-control. Choose just one and dedicate your entire day to living by it. Imagine choosing patience. Suddenly, every moment of frustration becomes your training ground. Stuck in traffic? You remind yourself, this is my patience lesson today. You breathe, relax, and respond with intention, not reaction. And that right there is what separates those who drift through life from those who shape it. As you can see, starting your morning intentionally is not about complicated routines. It's about winning the inner battle before the world even wakes up. And in the next part, we'll go even deeper into how identifying virtues each morning can completely reshape the way you face life's inevitable challenges. After learning the power of starting your day with clarity and anchoring your mind to a single virtue, the next step becomes even more important. You see, life won't wait for you to stay still. No matter how well you begin, challenges, emotions, and chaos will always try to pull you in. But here's the secret. When you slow down and consciously observe, you're no longer just reacting. You're training your mind even in the middle of life's storms. Turn chaos into progress. The power of virtue. A day guided by awareness is never wasted. Even small victories, like resisting frustration or returning your focus to your chosen virtue, shape you into a better version of yourself. Choosing a virtue each day does more than give you a goal. It clears the mental clutter. Without it, your mind tends to wander aimlessly, especially in the early hours. You drift from task to task, easily overwhelmed, often led by emotions rather than intentions. But when one virtue becomes your focus, something changes. Every action you take gains purpose. It becomes your anchor, steadying your mind against distractions, worries, and negativity that the world throws your way. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, captured this idea perfectly. He once wrote in Meditations, "Live as if today were the last day granted to you." Live with reason. So ask yourself, if this were your final day, would you fill your mind with anger, jealousy, and anxiety? Or would you choose calm, courage, honesty, or compassion? Each morning you hold that choice, and every time you choose to live by virtue, you sharpen your mind, much like a blade honed not by chaos, but by the smallest, most deliberate motions in daily life. Looking ahead when virtue meets. Life's challenges, but living with virtue alone isn't enough. Because no matter how steady you become, life is unpredictable. Obstacles will come, often when you least expect them. So how do you stay grounded when reality pushes back? How do you face uncertainty head-on without falling apart? In the next lesson, we'll explore one of the Stoics' most powerful techniques. It's a mindset that doesn't shy away from difficulties. Instead, it prepares for them in advance. This practice, called premeditatio malorum, will show you how to turn obstacles into strength even before they appear. Stay with me, because what comes next might change how you see every challenge in your life. As you learned in the previous lesson, living with virtue gives your mind a focus point. But even with clarity and virtue guiding you, there's still one harsh truth: you can't control everything. That's why Stoicism teaches another vital rule: know what's in your power and let go of what is not. Lesson 3. Draw the line between control and chaos. Each morning, before the world has the chance to pull you into its noise, you are faced with a simple but crucial choice. Will you focus on what you can actually influence, or waste precious energy stressing over what you can't? This choice, made early, decides whether your day unfolds with clarity or crumbles under fatigue and frustration. At the heart of Stoicism is this very distinction, separating what is controllable from what isn't. And no, this isn't about giving up or turning passive. It's about protecting your mind from being drained by useless worries. It's about holding your ground, especially in those fragile early hours of the day. When your focus is fully on your actions, your words, and your reactions, you are in charge. You move through the day proactively, calmly, with purpose. But the moment your attention shifts to things outside your power, like the opinions of others, random misfortunes, or unpredictable outcomes, you hand away control. You become reactive, tossed around like a leaf in the wind. Picture this. You're about to give an important presentation. You can control your preparation. You can control your slides, your tone of voice, even how well you dress. But you cannot control how the audience will respond. You can't stop technical issues or guarantee every reaction will be positive, so ask yourself, what's worth your energy here? If you obsess over the uncontrollable, anxiety will take over before you even step on stage. But if you focus only on your delivery and your preparation, you stay grounded and steady. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic minds, summed this up perfectly. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. That isn't just wisdom. It's a strategy for living freely and lightly. When you release what you can't hold, you release stress, fear, and false expectations. Your daily mental training should start with this simple reflection. What is truly within my control today? Maybe it's when you wake up. Maybe it's how you respond to frustration. Maybe it's how kindly you speak to yourself. Once you master this mental filter, you'll notice something profound. You're no longer shaken by everything happening around you. Instead, you become centered, calm, and far less vulnerable to chaos. Try this. For 1 week, every morning, write down 3 things you can control and 3 things you won't waste energy worrying about. Soon, you'll notice a shift. You'll find yourself more focused, less anxious, and carrying a quiet sense of peace, even when life throws surprises your way. And if you've ever caught yourself obsessing over things far beyond your influence, you know exactly why this matters. Feel free to share your story in the comments. Your experience might help others too. Smooth transition to next lesson. Now that you understand how to free your mind from uncontrollable worries, it's time to move to the next step. Because once you know what you control, you must take action. And in the next lesson, we'll explore one of the greatest traps of modern life, waiting until we feel ready. The Stoics had no patience for that. So get ready to discover why action, not motivation, is the real fuel of transformation in Lesson 4, Act Now. After learning to distinguish between what we can and cannot control, let's move to a deeper truth, one that Stoics embraced daily. If we want to truly live intentionally, we need to face something most people avoid thinking about, the fact that nothing lasts forever. Lesson 6. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. Perhaps nothing shakes us awake more powerfully than realizing that, one day, we won't wake up at all. No more alarms, no more morning sunlight streaming through the window, no more chances to say, I'll do it tomorrow. Memento mori, meaning remember you will die, is not a gloomy threat. Instead, it is one of the most profound reminders from Stoic philosophy. It's not meant to make you pessimistic. On the contrary, it's designed to deepen your appreciation for life. Each morning, as you open your eyes, this idea can change everything. When you are fully aware that your time here is limited, you stop living life on autopilot. You stop postponing what truly matters. You call your parents instead of telling yourself later. You write that single page for your dream book. You step outside for a walk, feel the morning breeze, and listen, really listen, to your own thoughts. Because when you realize that today might be your last chance to do these things, you do them with presence, love, and full attention. You no longer need perfect timing or the ideal mood to act. You act because you are grateful for simply being here. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." For the Stoics, death wasn't to be feared. It was to be remembered so that life could be fully lived. Imagine this simple moment. You receive a call from a loved one. You're busy, about to hit ignore, promising yourself to call back later. But then softly in your mind, you whisper, "Memento mori." Instantly, your perspective shifts. You answer the call. Not because you have to, but because you can. Because gratitude, not obligation, guides your choice. This daily practice doesn't make you morbid. It breaks the pattern of drifting through life. It cuts through procrastination, laziness, gloom, and the endless habit of wasting time on trivial matters. When you remember life is fragile, you stop wasting your morning scrolling aimlessly or complaining. You begin to use those first precious hours to live with purpose and clarity. And if you've made it this far in this video, pause for a second. Take a breath and acknowledge this. You're already transforming. You've dedicated these moments to your own inner growth and mental training. That, in itself, is powerful. And I deeply appreciate your presence here. Smooth transition to next lesson. Now, if memento mori wakes us up to life's impermanence, then amor fati will become your compass, helping you embrace each twist and turn, good or bad, with acceptance and even love. Ready to go deeper? In the next lesson, we'll explore how Stoics transform every obstacle into fuel for growth. Let's continue with Lesson 7. Amor fati. Previously, we learned that amor fati teaches us to lovingly embrace everything life brings, not with resistance, but with acceptance and courage. But acceptance alone is not enough. To live like a true Stoic, we must also take action. And that action starts with something very close to home, our own body. Lesson 8. Train your body as you train your mind. Discipline isn't about trying to control every single thing around you. It's about releasing control over what you cannot change, while fully mastering how you respond. Amor fati reminds us to love our fate, but discipline ensures we meet it with strength. Every morning, remind yourself, whatever comes, I choose to love it and make it part of me. But to stay aligned with this mindset, mental strength alone is not enough. A weak body often leads to a weakened mind. No one understood this better than the Stoics. For them, training the mind and the body was never two separate pursuits. They were deeply connected like two wings of the same bird. Every time you push yourself to rise early, lace up your shoes, and begin moving, you are sending a powerful message to your inner self. I am in control. You can feel this shift even on the simplest mornings. Whether it's 15 minutes of jogging, 2 minutes of planking, or simply stretching in your living room, your body responds. Endorphins, nature's happiness hormones, begin to flow, washing away stress and lifting your spirit. Each steady breath, each deliberate step, each drop of sweat, they all anchor you firmly in the present moment, silencing the chaos that might otherwise flood your mind. This is what the Stoics called living fully present in reason. And here's something magical. After even a short workout, not only does your body feel energized, but your mind becomes clearer. Suddenly worries shrink. Decisions seem easier. You feel sharper and lighter. But this practice goes beyond simple physical benefit. When you commit to daily exercise, even just a little, you cultivate one of the most important Stoic virtues, discipline. Every drop of sweat is proof that you can do difficult things, not because you feel like it, but because you know it's the right thing to do. By disciplining your body first thing each day, you set a solid foundation for disciplining your mind. You don't need to train like a world-class athlete. Just start small, get out of bed, stretch, breathe deeply, and move your body. These are your personal rituals of self-mastery, gentle yet powerful reminders that you are living intentionally. So, what about you? How do you train your body every morning? Share your routines or habits in the comments below. Your experience might be the inspiration someone else needs to begin their own discipline journey. Lesson 9. Read and reflect on a Stoic. Quote, each morning, if the body needs movement, the mind needs nourishment. Before diving headfirst into emails, meetings, or endless tasks, give yourself this gift. Just 3 minutes to read a Stoic quote. It doesn't have to be long, just a few words, a line or two from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations or Epictetus' teachings. But after you read, pause. Pick up a pen and write. Ask yourself, what does this mean for me today? Some days your thoughts may drift toward the brevity of life. Other mornings you might reflect on anger, frustration, or the challenge of staying calm amid chaos. Incredibly, those ancient words, carved in history centuries ago, transform into immediate strength for your day. That's the quiet power of Stoicism. Its teachings are not dusty, outdated theories. They are mental medicine. They sharpen your mind the same way adjusting the rudder of a ship keeps it from drifting aimlessly in rough waters. When your mind first awakens, it is soft, impressionable, and vulnerable. If the first thing you see is the noise of bad news or endless scrolling, that chaos becomes your starting point. But if you choose to start with Stoic wisdom, something like, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Then, you remind yourself of your true power. Reading a Stoic quote each morning is more than reading. It is reflection. It asks you to pause, connect the wisdom to your own life, and take action. You may jot down something simple like, I tend to react too quickly when I'm criticized. Today, I'll pause for 5 seconds before responding. That's when philosophy moves from theory into real, lived practice. And modern science agrees. Studies show that morning reflection and journaling lower stress, boost focus, and improve decision-making. From this tiny habit, you build something powerful, a steady mental anchor, one that keeps you from being tossed around by impulsive emotions or external noise. Smooth transition to next lesson. When your body is disciplined and your mind is guided by wisdom, something remarkable happens. You stop chasing, stop reacting, and begin flowing through your day with purpose and strength. But there's still one more lesson the Stoics want us to remember, one that will help us detach from daily chaos and maintain clarity no matter what happens next. After grounding your mind each morning with clear, conscious thought and reflection, what comes next? It's simple. Clarity leads to control, not the rigid control of force or pressure, but the calm, steady control of a mind that knows how to flow through chaos. That's where true mental discipline shines. Now let's take this further. With a timeless tool that Stoics use daily to sharpen their minds and strengthen their hearts. Lesson 10. Journaling. The mirror of the mind every morning offers a clean slate, a blank page ready for the next chapter. But before you rush to write what's next, pause, look back. Reread yesterday's lines, not to live in the past, but to learn from it. This is the essence of journaling. Not just scribbling random words, but engaging in deep, honest conversations with yourself. For the Stoics, journaling wasn't just a routine. It was a sacred habit to cleanse the mind, clarify thoughts, and stay anchored. They often asked themselves 3 simple yet profound questions each day. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow? These weren't meant to scold or shame. They were reflections, like holding up a mirror, allowing the soul to see itself more clearly. There were no judges, no grades, only you, your pen, and your truth. You don't need an hour or elaborate words. 5 honest minutes are enough. Choose a quiet moment, perhaps in the morning, to set your path, or at night to reflect on your journey. When writing, don't sugarcoat or edit yourself. Speak plainly as if talking to a wise mentor within, one who listens without judgment, guiding you gently toward growth. At first, you might feel awkward. What should I write? Why am I doing this? But soon, the benefits become clear. Journaling pulls you out of autopilot. It helps you slow down. Observe your thoughts and avoid being swept away by daily noise and emotions. A successful entrepreneur once shared, "Writing in my journal each night doesn't just help me sleep better, it helps me make clearer, smarter decisions the next day." Why? Because writing brings clarity. It helps you realize what deserves your energy and, more importantly, what doesn't. If you haven't tried journaling yet, today is the perfect day to start. Grab a notebook, a pen, and find 5 minutes of peace. Don't worry about making it perfect. Messy or neat, long or short, it doesn't matter. What matters is honesty, and if journaling is already a part of your life, stay tuned. The next lesson will take your practice even deeper, showing you how 2 seemingly soft habits, gratitude and forgiveness, hold the power to unlock your strongest, calmest self. Lesson 11. Practice gratitude and forgiveness in the daily pursuit of mastering the mind. Some habits seem gentle, it's almost too simple, but make no mistake, they hold extraordinary power: gratitude and forgiveness. These are not empty gestures or forced positivity. They are the very tools that help cleanse the mind, release heavy burdens, and allow space for peace and clarity. Gratitude shifts your attention. Instead of obsessing over what's missing or what could go wrong, it invites you to see what is already here. Your warm bed, a nourishing meal, a loved one's smile, the quiet gift of health as a new day begins. None of these may be perfect, but they are blessings often overlooked. Gratitude reminds us to see them, and in doing so calms the mind, reduces stress hormones, and triggers the release of endorphins, the body's natural source of joy. You cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. Gratitude forces anger to leave the room. But where gratitude opens the door to light, forgiveness clears out the darkest corners, and this is where the challenge truly begins. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about refusing to let someone else's mistake keep hurting you again and again through resentment. When you hold on to anger, it's like drinking poison and hoping the other person will suffer. Forgiveness frees you from this trap. It's not weakness, it's strength. It's the warrior's choice to lay down burdens, not because they lost, but because they've already won. A Stoic understands this deeply. The only thing you can truly control is your attitude and your response. So why choose to carry pain into a new day? Start each morning with a small yet powerful ritual. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as, I am grateful for my family, for my healthy body, and for this chance to learn today. Then look inward. Is there a lingering anger or unresolved issue, perhaps a misunderstanding, a harsh word, or a silence that should be broken? If you're ready, reach out, send a message, make that call. If you're not ready yet, that's okay. Write down what you wish to say, and in your heart, begin to forgive. You will feel lighter, as if heavy armor has been removed from your shoulders. Smooth transition to the next lesson. When you combine gratitude and forgiveness, you don't just feel peaceful. You become free. Free from the noise, free from the weight. Free to embrace the day ahead with calm strength. And now, we step into our final and perhaps most transformative lesson. A mindset that helps you go beyond reacting to life, and instead, fully lead it. When gratitude and forgiveness become your daily practice, it feels as if you've finally set down a heavy backpack you didn't even realize you were carrying. That quiet burden, built up from worries, regrets, and grudges, suddenly lifts. And in that moment, you're no longer just awake. You are truly free to begin the day with clarity and peace. The power of release. Starting the day with freedom, gratitude, and forgiveness cost nothing. They demand no extra hours from your day, no money from your pocket. Yet, they offer something priceless. The key to a liberated mind and a heart unburdened. This is not about fleeting feel-good moments. It's about giving yourself the gift of freedom every single morning. A freedom where you are no longer weighed down by yesterday's mistakes, nor trapped in the endless cycle of comparison and desire. Stoicism, after all, is not merely about building resilience to endure life's hardships. It's about achieving freedom from within. And gratitude paired with forgiveness is the gateway to this inner liberation. As we reflect on everything shared so far, think about how far you've already come in this journey. Together, we've walked through 11 powerful steps to strengthen your mind each morning, from simple yet transformative habits like starting the day in silence, choosing your virtue, and journaling, to more profound Stoic principles like premeditatio malorum, preparing for life's challenges, understanding the circle of control, and finally, embracing gratitude and forgiveness. Each step wasn't random. They are like bricks carefully laid to build something solid. A mindset that is strong, steady, and deeply intentional. A mindset that doesn't react impulsively to chaos but responds thoughtfully, aligned with Stoic wisdom. But here's the truth. Learning alone is never enough. The next step is yours. The challenge. Turn wisdom into action. So here's my invitation to you. Try the 7-day challenge. Every morning for just 1 week, practice all 11 steps. Don't rush. Take your time with each habit, from embracing silence to forgiving old burdens. Observe what changes. Notice how your emotions soften, how your productivity becomes sharper, and how your view of life subtly transforms. And when the weekends, reflect. Which lesson resonated with you the most? Which step felt the most powerful or difficult? I would love to hear about your experience. Share your journey with us in the comments below. Not only will you inspire others, but you may also inspire your future self when you look back. If you found value in this video and feel ready to continue growing, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This way, you'll never miss another chance to strengthen your mind and spirit. But wait, don't go just yet. Your next step is already prepared. Your next video, filled with more insights to help you rise even higher, is ready and waiting for you right now. See you there.